Hello everyone, this is Grade 2, Module 8, Lesson 7 homework. The directions state, solve the following puzzles using your Tangram pieces. Draw your solution in the space below. I'm going to come back to A, simply because I can only get my small pieces on here to move around, but I'll draw out A in a second. So let's look at B, because A and B are really similar. One is using the larger or the largest triangles, one is using the two smallest. So for B, we have to use the two smallest triangles to make a square. So I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to flip it a couple different ways. And I'm going to match those up and see that now I got a nice square there that I could then trace onto my paper. And knowing how these squares fit together, these small ones, I know now that my big one, my big square, or my big triangles, could be drawn the exact same way, which is why I wanted to do that one first. So now we're going to take a look at a couple of different problems. So let's look at D first, and I'll slide down. And I need to grab my triangles. And D says, use the two smallest triangles to make one larger triangle. So I gotta find a way to do this. I'm gonna flip these and then slide them together. And they don't match up perfectly, but that looks pretty good. And it looks like I do have a triangle set there. So I can now take a look over at the next problem, which I'm going to go back to C now. And it says use the two smallest triangles to make a parallelogram with no square corners. So let me get my two triangles here and bring them on over. And I got to do something with this triangle, and I think that's going to work right there because I need a parallelogram. That's pretty good right there because I see this one is parallel to this side and this side is parallel to this side. So all of that's working out pretty good. So what I'll do now is move on down to E and F. So let's take a look at that. And E and F are going to say how many equal shares do the larger shapes in parts A through D have? So when we talk about equal parts, we mean how many shapes were used to create those and the equal pieces of it. And there were two equal ones because we have a line right here for C. For A, we had one here. For B, we have one right there, and then for D, we have one here, and it's creating two equal parts. How many halves make up the larger shapes in parts A and D? So we have one half here and one half here. So how many halves make this whole thing? There's two halves because this is a half and this is a half, and those two pieces together make a whole. So there's two halves. And the line in the middle there, cutting that shape, or where the two pieces were put together, that shows us that we have two equal parts. So now, down below, circle the shapes that show halves, meaning two equal parts. This one right here is cutting it into this side, and then this side. So we have one over here, and one over here. So that's going to get circled because they look equal to me. My next one, we have a diagonal cut. So we have a triangle there and a triangle there. So that looks equal. For this one, we cut this rectangle this way. And cutting a rectangle, we could make halves. But the problem is we have this piece up here and then a much larger piece down below. So those aren't the same size pieces, so they're not going to get circled. And then for the last one, we have a hexagon cut, and it ends up making this shape and this shape, and they look like identical shapes to me, and they are identical shapes. So what I can kind of infer or take from this is that they're equal. And anytime we have two equal pieces, they are considered halves. Let's look at page 2. So for 3, it says, examine the trapezoid. How many equal shares does the trapezoid have? When we say equal shares, how many equal shapes make this up? And we have 1, 2, 3. How many thirds are in the trapezoid? Well, there's 3 of them. So if we have 3 equal pieces, this is a third, that's a third, and that's a third. So there's 3 thirds that make up that whole piece. And the reason why they're all thirds is because they're all the same size piece. So down below we have to circle the shapes that show thirds. So they have to be 3 equal shapes. So this one is thirds because I see I have 3 rectangles that are all about the same size. This one, I see that this doesn't look the same size as this, which doesn't look the same size as this. So I'm not going to circle that one. This last one, tough to look at. It really is. But I can see that if I kind of twist, see a diamond there. And I see another one right there. I see another one kind of right there, and that's actually going to be good to show me that they're thirds, because they're 3 equal pieces. As we take a look down at the last one, examine the parallelogram. How many equal shares does the shape have? I see 1 triangle there, 2 right there, 3 right there, and 4 right there. So it looks to me like there are 4 equal pieces or shares. So how many fourths are in the shape? This is a fourth, this is a fourth, this is a fourth, and this is a fourth. So I have 4 fourths that create that one whole parallelogram. So for the last part, you're going to circle the shapes that show fourths. And remember, when we talk about fourths, they all have to have an equal share of the shape. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps, and good luck on the rest of your homework.